6, a candlelit vigil was held today honoring Disability Day of Mourning.
Refugee high school students in Syracuse came to the SU campus today to celebrate culture and tolerance with the We Are Syracuse program.
Beautiful weather today. You need sunglasses. Those are no more. You need an umbrella for the next few days. I'm tracking storms coming up with my full 5-day forecast. Stay with us. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Brittany Muller.
And I'm Meghan Mistry. The Office of Disabilities held a candlelit vigil on campus today. That's our top story. SU members gathered in Shine's Goldstein Auditorium today to honor the lives of victims with disabilities. Citrus TV's Claudia Bellofatto is here in studio to tell us about the vigil.
About 40 people gathered to remember lives that were taken too soon. Lists of names were remembered today. SU students and faculty came together to remember people with disabilities who have been murdered by family members or caregivers. Poems and stories were shared by members to honor the victims. This is the 5th year Syracuse University has held the vigil. I spoke with one of the speakers about the importance of events like the vigil. He said there needs to be changes in the community view of people with disabilities. For those who did not get the chance to join the vigil today in Shine, you can go on the 2017 Disability Day of Mourning virtual vigil Facebook page to participate. Brittany and Meghan, back to you.
Yesterday's Campus Framework Forum did not give concrete updates. SU members were involved in a discussion about the campus's future, yet none of those heading to the forum provided updates in areas that were advertised as topics. These included the results of meetings and audits that occurred during the fall semester. SU is expected to release a report about Campus Framework by the end of this semester. Syracuse University will be hosting an international masterclass on particle physics. Students and teachers from local school districts can attend the event on March 13th or March 17th in the physics building. Participants will work with data from CERN's Large Hadron Collider, attend presentations by Syracuse faculty, and even video chat with members of CERN. The event is not open to the public. Today, refugee students from Nottingham High School came to share their stories at the We Are Syracuse event. Citrus TV reporter David Edelstein is in studio with more details of the event.
Thanks, guys. In a time of a lot of social diversity, Syracuse today is hosting an event that will show the commonality between all human beings. I was down at Huntington Hall here at Syracuse University where students from Nottingham High School came to celebrate their differences. As of 1 o'clock this afternoon, Jaquette Commons was silent, all but some keyboard typing and whispers of conversation. But as of 4:30, the space was filled with stories of refugee students.
Just to come to the university, I mean, it's a big thing.
The students currently attend Nottingham High School in Syracuse. They came to the city to escape homes in places like Nepal, Uganda, Myanmar, Iraq, Congo, and Somalia.
They're really excited about being able to share their culture. They're not often asked to share their culture with other people, and so this is an opportunity for them to do this in a non-threatening manner.
The We Are Syracuse program allows them to do just that. The gallery-style event is designed to celebrate cultures and promote tolerance.
For the 3rd year in a row, refugee, university, and other local communities will meet here as one Syracuse community.
It's very important. It allows the students to get out into the community and show their culture and the positive attributes that they bring to Syracuse. It also allows our community to meet refugees and hear their stories.
In this event, I feel fulfilled, and sharing the stories and sharing my friends' stories it's a great opportunity to present it to everyone and show that we didn't have an easy path like everyone else. We struggled, but there's always a second story behind the brightest smile.
And while this is just a 2-hour event, the ongoing goal of the program? To see people as people, not as labels. David Edelstein, Citrus TV News. Now, participants of the program are emphasizing the importance now of a common humanity in a current time that we live in filled with many differences. Meghan and Brittany, back to you.
An Ohio man who planted a bomb that severely injured a New York State corrections officer last year pleaded guilty to federal charges this afternoon. Keith Seppi of Conneaut, Ohio, was charged a month ago with carrying a bomb across state lines with the intent to kill or injure Officer Alan Dobransky. The Oscar-nominated movie Hidden Figures continues to inspire young girls across the country and in Syracuse. Today, students from Danforth Middle School watched a special screening of it on a field trip. The movie tells the story of 3 African-American women who worked for NASA in the 1960s. Over half of the students at the school are African-American as well. The field trip was organized to show the students that they too can overcome adversity. And the Fitzpatrick nuclear plant is back to running at full power as of this morning. The Oswego County Power Plant has been closed for 45 days as the facility was refueled. Plant operator Entergy laid off 600 workers in 2015, and many expected the plant to close completely. Exelon, the owner of the adjacent 9 Mile plant, agreed to buy the Fitzpatrick facility in August.
At the Sidney Albert JCC in Albany today, Governor Cuomo condemned the recent bomb threats made at Jewish community centers and cemeteries across the state. He said that these actions go against everything that New Yorkers stand for. He also announced a special police unit being assembled to investigate these hate crimes. The investigation team will be a mix of state police, local law enforcement, and FBI. The governor also restated his plan to set aside $25 million for bolstering security at facilities likely to be targeted for hate crimes. Governor Cuomo is putting forward legislation to end child marriage, raising the age of consent from 14 to 18. The governor wants to prohibit marriage before 17 and require parental and judicial consent along with one-on-one interviews with a judge before a minor can get married. Cuomo cited that teens who marry before 19 are more likely to drop out of high school, not finish college, and develop mental disorders as reasons for the new legislation.
Well, the weather has been absolutely all over the place today.
Our Citrus TV weather anchor Brendan Tierney is here to tell us what we can expect for the rest of the week. Brendan.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, crazy weather today. 68 was our high. We actually set a record temperature for here in Syracuse. Previous record was set back in 1954 at just 63 degrees. The thing that kept us from reaching 70 today were those rain showers. Taking a look at your day planner, you're able to see the rain was here this morning. It got out of the area by noontime. However, the damp morning kept us from reaching 70 this afternoon. Taking a look across the region at the moment, 65 in Ithaca, 64 in Binghamton. Pretty moderate up here in Syracuse at 61 degrees. Rome's checking in at 62. Taking a look at your radar for right now, you're able to see some of the storms have moved off the lake and out of the area. So right now, just cloud cover in the area, no precipitation. However, there is more rain coming in and it might be changing over to snow. I'll have more on that coming up in my full forecast.
Coming up, President Trump gave his first formal address to Congress as president.
And police in Iraq have found a new way to combat the Islamic State in Mosul. Find out more when we return.
Those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Got a quarter?
You're watching Citrus TV News with Meghan Mistry, Brittany Muller, and Brendan Tierney with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
Welcome back. The biggest talk amongst politicians today, President Trump's statesman-like composure at last night's presidential address to Congress.
Trump shied away from his usual rhetoric and spoke words of inspiration. While he didn't discuss many policy specifics, he smoothed out his rough edges and reached out to populations he's previously alienated.
I believe that real and positive immigration reform is possible as long as we focus on the following goals: to improve jobs and wages for Americans, to strengthen our nation's security, and to restore respect for our laws.
The Senate confirmed today that Ryan Zinke is the new Interior Secretary. The department is responsible for a fifth of U.S. land.
The Interior Department also oversees agencies that manage natural resources and endangered wildlife. Republicans say the former Montana congressman is a strong choice due to his understanding of the economic implications of regulations on the environment.
Today marks a historic day for American stocks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average opened at an all-time high of 21,000 this morning.
This comes one day after President Trump's optimistic national address. The speech did not say anything about tax reform or deregulation, but Wall Street is hopeful that the speech proves President Trump will follow through with his agenda.
And much of the United States has been plagued by severe weather this week. In the last 24 hours, strong storms brought thunderstorms, wind, rain, and tornadoes to the Midwest, killing 3.
On the screen, you can see the deadly storms impacting residents of Missouri, Tennessee, and Arkansas. The storms are moving towards the southeast and the east coast today, putting 95 million more people in the path of these destructive storms.
Syrian civilians fell victim to war crimes during the battle for Aleppo last year. Reports say hundreds of lives were lost during daily airstrikes by the Syrian government and its ally Russia.
Investigators specifically mentioned the airstrikes that destroyed hospitals where no military targets were found. The report does not explicitly say that the Russian airstrikes violated international law.
The federal police in Iraq is now using drones to combat the Islamic State in Mosul. The terrorist group started their attack on the western portion of the city 10 days ago.
The drones are being used to gather intelligence without endangering lives. A leading Iraqi commander says the group's grip on the city is becoming weaker.
ISIS fighters are being cut off from each other and leaders are trying to get out. 14,000 people have fled the city since the attack began.
3 explosions hit the Afghan capital of Kabul. This morning, 2 bombs went off near police headquarters in District 6. Later in the morning, the National Security Office was targeted in a 3rd explosion.
The attacks left 16 people dead and many more wounded. The Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attacks.
Today is Ash Wednesday and marks the beginning of Lent, a Christian time of reflection in preparation for Easter.
The day's rituals include rubbing ashes on the forehead as a reminder of mortality. Here you can see Pope Francis rubbing ashes on the heads of the faithful at the Vatican.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
We've had a number of very beautiful days here on campus. Unfortunately, that's coming to an end tomorrow. Let's start with your forecast for tonight. 31 degrees. There will be some snow moving in the early hours. We're looking 4 a.m. is when the rain changes over to snow when we finally get under 32. The big story, though, is the wind chill. 13 degrees with the winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour tonight. So definitely bundle up if you're heading out. Taking a look at your future radar, you're able to see the rain moving through the area. Some of it's heavy. It will be lake effect snow later in the night. Once we get below that 32 mark, it moves in some snow heavy at times, and it sticks around through tomorrow morning and the mid-morning hours. So until about noon tomorrow, you definitely want to have a coat outside, a hat and gloves. It's going to be cold and snowing. Taking a look at your surface analysis map, you're able to see that cold front and the low pressure system that's moving into our area, and that's what's bringing the lake effect snow right behind it. And that front will be sticking with us for a little bit. High pressure not quite back into the area, at least for the next few days. Taking a look at your snow forecast, I'm putting out about a moderate snow forecast for the area. We're going to see a couple inches of snow. However, the snow that will be falling won't be sticking to the ground that much because the ground's been so warm. It's not frozen, so the snow will not be sticking to the ground. Now your Citrus TV 5-day forecast, not bad overall compared to norms, but what we've been seeing over the past couple weeks, it's nothing like it. 34 degrees tomorrow, 19 degrees will be your low. Snow will be out of here by the mid-afternoon, but there is a chance of it sticking around. Friday, 29 degrees, 14 will be your low. And then Saturday, for the men's basketball season finale, 23 degrees if you're heading over the dome. Not that nice, but not bad either. Definitely not the weather you saw for the Duke game. Sunday, much nicer for the home lacrosse game, 40 degrees. And then Monday, we're back into these warm temperatures. There's a chance for some afternoon thunderstorms.
All right, Brendan, you talked a little bit about lake effect snow moving in. About how many inches of snow do you expect for us to see?
We're looking at about a ½ inch per day, so it won't be that much, but not enough that you're going to want to wear sneakers, definitely boots.
All right, well, thank you very much. When we come back, a Spanish bus with a bold message.
And Women's History Month is kicking off with an inspiring new toy for kids. Stay tuned.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Welcome back to Citrus TV. Google launched its new premium streaming service today. YouTube TV is a paid service that will offer premium content from 40 major networks and YouTube creators, as well as offer customers unlimited DVR. The CEO of YouTube says the service is aimed at younger generations that don't want to consume television in the traditional manner. YouTube TV will require Google's streaming platform Chromecast and will cost users $35 a month. A bus with an anti-transgender message emblazoned on its side has been banned from Spanish roads by the Madrid City Council. A Catholic group planned to take the bus to cities throughout Spain. The group says the city councils banned it, calling it illegal, and says they have plans to acquire a new bus. However, many Spanish government leaders continue to speak out against it. The mayor of Barcelona has said that the bus will never be welcome in his city. New research suggests moms aren't the only ones suffering from depression during pregnancy. A study out of New Zealand found depression rates in men almost doubled after the birth of their children. Researchers stress the importance of sleep even before the baby is born. However, the most important tip they have is to ask for help if you or your partner shows signs of depression.
Around 2,700 Hershey employees will be let go. Hershey says the layoffs are part of an international business plan. According to the candy company's CEO, the cuts will help return and boost profits faster. The candy company employs around 18,000 people globally. 5 women of NASA are being honored after the result of a Lego competition were announced. The announcement was made on Twitter. Those honored include Margaret Hamilton, Sally Ride, Nancy Grace Roman, Mae Jemison, and Katherine Johnson. Katherine Johnson, a NASA mathematician, is also honored through the popular movie Hidden Figures. Lady Gaga is set to perform at Coachella this year, but there is a catch. She will be filling in for Beyoncé. According to the announcement, Beyoncé cannot perform at the festival due to health concerns. Beyoncé is currently pregnant with twins. Lady Gaga will join other headliners like Radiohead and Kendrick Lamar. The festival runs over 2 weekends in mid-April.
Coming up in sports, one SU women's basketball star continues to rewrite program history. And on the men's side, an all-important tournament bubble matchup awaits. Find out why the team isn't really worried. All that and more after the break.
Breezes giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected.
I'm going to lead in about the
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Hi, I'm Marco Sochi. SU women's basketball star Alexis Peterson has enjoyed a record-breaking year for the Orange, and today she was rewarded for it. Peterson was named ACC Player of the Year, the first ever in Syracuse program history. The point guard led the conference in scoring with over 23 points per game. The senior also led the ACC in steals and assists in conference games and earned a school record 4 ACC Player of the Week honors. Peterson and the Orange are back in action tomorrow night to open the ACC tournament. The Syracuse men are enjoying a week off before their next game against Georgia Tech on Saturday. The matchup with the Yellow Jackets is the regular season finale for the Orange and has huge NCAA tournament implications on the line for both teams. But while fans have an eye on the big dance, John Gillen and Jim Boeheim aren't worried about that just yet.
I mean, of course we're thinking about it, but it's not something we're trying to focus too much on. You think about it subconsciously as something you want to do, but every game is important. Every game is important. I want to go and I want to win against Georgia Tech. We want that as a team, and we're going to correct some things and move forward and try to go get a win.
You know, we're just focused on the next game. We're going to get ready to play, and we'll see what happens. I don't worry about that stuff. We're going to get ready to play. It's out of our hands.
Senior Day against Georgia Tech won't be Syracuse's last chance to beef up its tournament resume. The ACC tournament gets started next week down in Brooklyn. The 2017 Tewaaraton Award watch list was released today, and as is always the case, Syracuse was well represented. Seniors Nick Mariano, Sergio Salcido, and Ben Williams made the list of the nation's top 50 lacrosse players. All 3 of them were honored as second-team All-Americans last season. The Tewaaraton Award goes to the nation's top player. A multi-million-dollar Ponzi scheme has a former Syracuse football star facing some serious prison time. Defensive back Will Allen was sentenced to 6 years in prison for providing fraudulent loans to professional athletes like Yankees closer Aroldis Chapman. After his time at SU, Allen spent 10 years in the NFL. Today is deadline day in the NHL, and that led to a flurry of moves in the AHL for the Crunch. Syracuse is making its push for the Calder Cup with trades for veteran goalie Mike McKenna and the league's second leading goal scorer Byron Frazee. The Crunch's parent team, Tampa Bay, also bolstered the Syracuse roster by assigning defenseman Jake Dotchin and forwards Adam Ernie and Gabriel Dumont. Boeheim versus Boeheim. It's a matchup that could be coming to the Dome just next season. The legendary head coach's son, Jimmy, committed to play basketball at Cornell last night. The Big Red and the Orange have played each of the last 4 years. While a potential meeting seems likely, I wouldn't bet the house on the student beating the teacher in this one. Cornell hasn't beaten SU since 1968. Guys, huge game in the Dome this weekend. Syracuse and Georgia Tech, both teams looking to make the NCAA tournament.
Okay, so what does this mean for our SU men's basketball team?
It looks like win and in, but if Syracuse loses, it's going to be sweating it on Selection Sunday.
All right, thank you very much, Marco. When we come back, we'll have one last look at your weather. Stay with us.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Welcome back. Brendan, what kind of weather can we expect tomorrow?
Sadly, tomorrow, not a very nice day. 34 is our high. It's going to be feeling like the 20s at the highest. There will be some snow throughout the day.
All right, thank you very much. Coming up after the show on OTN, On the Bench is up next at 6:30, followed by Syracuse Stories at 7 and CitrusTV Noticias at 7:30.
To view the full schedule and watch all the shows, visit CitrusTV.com. That's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and Twitter at CitrusTV News. I'm Brittany Muller.
And I'm Meghan Mistry. Have a great night, Syracuse.